Hey all, I had a great interview with Malcolm Lawson. It's a 30-minute one. First, we're going to cover kind of in 2020 what happened with YouTube and with real estate agents, and did anyone make any money? How did it go? What worked, what didn't? Then we jump into the framework of how to actually put videos onto YouTube so that you can actually create more views. And I saw a lot of agents really struggle. They put videos up, but they didn't get any organic views. Then finally, at the very end, we're going to dive into how does YouTube pay you? They'll give you money for putting videos up. What does it take to get there, and how does it all work? So enjoy. I do talk a little bit about Malcolm's training program, which I do recommend. I took it. So you can jump in and find that in the description, and enjoy, guys. This is a really good one. All right, everybody, I have Mr. Malcolm Lawson, who is by far, I think, as a coach for Tom Ferry, I explore everything out there. I think he's definitely one of the smartest real estate professionals on YouTube, providing some incredible content, as well as created an amazing Facebook group, as well as created an amazing YouTube training program for realtors, which I have been through. And thank you, Malcolm. It was awesome. And really helped me as a coach and as a realtor to kind of figure out what the real strategy is to create results. So I've been working my butt off. I think I'm on, video number 100 as a real estate coach, really kind of looking at 2021 as a realtor. What am I going to do? But I'll be honest with you, I'm so excited about all of the what's happened when I've done videos on YouTube as a coach. It's been incredible. So I just want to pick your brain and figure out, what are you seeing now at the end of 2020 and kind of your journey as a real estate agent and as a YouTuber, kind of some of the most important things you've seen, and let's have some fun, man. So thank you for your time, and I'm super excited to, catch up with you.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Thanks for having me back on. I love talking about YouTube. And yeah, so what I'm really seeing is kind of what I've been predicting for the last couple of years, in that YouTube's really blowing up right now in 2020 for real estate agents. I'm seeing a lot of agents go all in on YouTube in 2020 and just explode their channels. And what's really interesting is how much growth I've seen agents be able to make on YouTube in just a 12-month period. So I know a couple of agents that they really only started at the beginning of 2020, and they said they were committed, they went all in, and now towards the end of 2020, they have more leads and more business than they can literally handle, and they're just completely overwhelmed. I know one agent down in Austin, Texas, he's going to do over $20 million in volume this year just from leads that discovered him from his YouTube channel. And he's really only gone all in on YouTube at the beginning of 2020. And I've seen this in a lot of different markets that a lot of agents have gone all in, and they're just dominating their markets now because of YouTube videos. And what's interesting is that 2020, with all these shelter-in-place orders, it's kind of accelerated that growth that we've seen in the YouTube space from real estate agents, because YouTube's one of the few lead generation activities that you can still do from the inside of your home, right? I've got a little studio set up here, and I can still do my lead generation. I can double down on it, start putting out more content, more videos, and the lockdowns and everything is not really influencing that. And the activities that I'm doing today on YouTube, right, they're going to help me get leads next year and the year after that and the year after that, after all these lockdowns are over. So what I'm really seeing in this space is just YouTube has really exploded in 2020 for real estate agents, and people are taking territory right now. And once they take that territory, it's going to be hard for an up-and-comer, a new person, to try to encroach on that territory.
Yep.
So if you're not on YouTube, you got to get on it right now and start dominating, start taking territory while there's still territory left to take.
Yeah, I agree with that wholeheartedly. I'd like to dive into one thing that you've said, which is kind of this concept of all in, and like, when do you really kind of start to see growth and success on YouTube? And for me, it was very interesting. I'm looking at my analytics right now, and I'll share my screen really fast. But you can see my journey on this really, really. You can see it right here. So here's my YouTube. I started my channel as a real estate coach on April 20th, right? And here we are, fast forward, you could just see, I think I've done like 90 videos, and my first videos were terrible. I didn't even know what I was doing. I just threw them up there and I just started working through it. But, you know, today to have 9,000 views, but really what's so interesting to me, Malcolm, is this watch hours. To have 774 watch hours of someone watching a video of me talking about real estate and being a coach and interviewing great people like you, that to me is just amazing. And then to see the reach of the 130,000 impressions, like that's just that's organic. I don't do anything. I occasionally share with a few people a link or whatnot, but like that is unbelievable to me when I look at that and think as a marketer and as someone who's trying to expand and grow my kind of my real estate coach brand. But like, wow, I did 90 videos and here I am, all of a sudden I'm getting requests now. Patrick, I'd like to coach with you. Patrick, I'd like to talk to you. So I'm kind of seeing from April to here at the end of 2020, you know, I've seen this huge growth for myself. So if we're talking to an agent today, Malcolm, who's kind of like, all right, I'm all in, let's go. What would you say kind of the length of time, maybe the number of videos, kind of like, hey, like buckle up, get to work, and somewhere around over here, listen, that's when if you haven't achieved something at this point, you're probably doing something wrong, right? What is that kind of strategic kind of perspective that these agents need to take?
Right. Yeah. So it kind of depends on what your goals are. And there's really two major goals: lead generation and then lead conversion.
Right.
And you could start making YouTube videos and using them as tools to increase your lead conversion today, right? You could make a video of your buyer's consultation. Next time you get a new buyer lead who's never bought a home before, you can send that video to them and that'll help you convert those leads. You put videos up on your website. You can do your seller's consultation, turn that into video. You can make videos about the different loan programs, pros and cons of them, and about the different areas in your cities. And all those can be used as tools to increase your lead conversion today. You can start converting any lead from any source at a much higher rate with those videos.
Yeah. Can I say one thing about that? That's because that's beautiful. Thank you for bringing that up. It's so critical. And I think what it is really looking at how can we use video inside of your customer's journey today and create education that moves the needle faster for you, right? Like,
right.
And that so the lead conversion topic is beautiful. Thank you for bringing that up. So
yeah.
So now let's switch over to that lead generation, right? Like, oh, I want you to generate more leads, right? So what's your perspective here on that in 2020, at the end of 2020 on this?
Yeah, you can absolutely generate leads. This year, I'm closing somewhere around 130,000 in GCI just from leads that I generated from my YouTube channel. And it may actually be a little bit higher than that if you count all the referrals that I've sent out to other agents, if I count that as the GCI. And the year's not over yet, so I haven't actually crunched those numbers yet. But you absolutely can generate leads from YouTube. And you know how you do that is, well, YouTube's the second largest search engine in the world. So on that customer journey that you're talking about, at the very start of that, they're kind of broadly researching areas and cities and states, trying to get a broad feeling for where they want to live. That's at the beginning of that journey. And that is where we can help them out. That's where we can get in front of them and help them make that decision and teach them about the different areas in our cities and our states at the beginning of that customer journey. And that's how you really generate those leads. And so YouTube is the second largest search engine in the world. Google is obviously the largest search engine in the world who owns YouTube, and they often rank YouTube videos on the first page of Google. So for an example, if you go to Google right now, you type in moving to Maryland, I have multiple YouTube videos that rank on the first page of Google for Maryland. So in that customer journey you're talking about, I'm getting people at the very start of that journey. I'm providing value to them, providing them information, building that relationship with them completely on autopilot before they ever even reach out to me. And that's really how you generate leads from them. Now, how long it takes you to generate those leads, it kind of depends if you're making the right types of videos and you're optimizing them in the right way. You can start generating leads, in as little as a month or two, maybe 3 months.
Mhm.
If you're making the wrong types of videos, you're not doing the things right, I mean, you can be stuck there spinning your wheels indefinitely. I see a lot of agents, they're like, man, I've been on YouTube for 5 years and never generated anything. And I look at their videos are terrible, and they're making the wrong types of videos, and they're making all these mistakes in their videos. But if you do things right, and you kind of follow this formula on YouTube, you can absolutely, within just a few months, start generating leads. And within 12 months, you could have a channel that is generating you more leads than you can literally handle. And I'm not even exaggerating about that. In my my Facebook group, the Real Estate YouTube Mastermind, there are multiple agents in there who are closing over $20 million in volume from leads they generated from YouTube. And that's the problem that they have now, is they have so many leads, they can't handle them all. So it absolutely can be used as a legitimate source of lead generation in your business.
Yeah, let's jump. You said something critical, which you said there is a formula for what you do on YouTube. And I think let's call it out that, most of the guys who used YouTube as a dumping ground, or they actually followed the same advice that everybody gave on social media, like Facebook and Instagram. 30-second videos, stupid poppy videos. No, YouTube does not like that. YouTube does not operate the same way as social media, Facebook, Instagram. It's completely different. Your 30-second video does not work here, right? YouTube's totally different, and there's a very specific formula. And Malcolm, you're the one that showed me what the formula was the moment I saw it. Then as I go now on YouTube, I see the formula in action with all of the other biggest players, and that validates it and then makes it easier for me to now go apply that formula and increase my results. So could you just touch the highlight of some of the most important pieces to the formula just quickly so people have an understanding of what we're talking about?
Yeah, absolutely. So kind of the first step in the formula is getting people to click on your videos in the first place. And a lot of people new to YouTube, they totally underestimate this. And getting people to click on your video is really going to come down to your title of the video and the thumbnail of your video. And you have to make them clickable. You have to make them interesting enough to make somebody want to click on them. And so often, agents, they have whatever the default thumbnail is, which is just a screen grab from their video, and they just kind of throw up some title. They don't really put any energy or thought into it. And somebody is presented with their thumbnail and title on YouTube, and they don't click on it, and your videos just never perform well. And so a lot of people, you don't have that challenge with Facebook or Instagram. With Facebook, for example, it automatically just starts playing your videos. So what's important on Facebook is to visually get their attention within the first few seconds. That's not as important on YouTube. You do that with your thumbnail and title on YouTube. So that's kind of the first hurdle and first part of the formula. The next part is YouTube's going to measure how long people watch your video for. So your goal is to keep them watching your video as long as possible. So there's a couple of things that you don't want to do. You don't want to start off with a bunch of call to actions. Hey guys, go like, follow, comment, subscribe, follow me on Facebook, email me, go to my website. Once you start with all these call to actions.
I'm Patrick, Ferry, real estate agent with Keller Williams here in San Diego, California, license number 12345, and and the 5 things that I'd like to talk to, it's like,
yeah, if you want to buy, sell, or invest in, California, call me, my team, and yada, yada, yada. People get bored of that. They back out of the video. Then your video doesn't perform very well, right? YouTube sees that and they measure how long people watch your video for. So you want to cut out all of that nonsense at the beginning of your video. And instead, you want to start your video with a hook. So a hook is going to be a short statement kind of hyping up the value that they're going to get out of that video. So an example, let's say I could start the video, a normal agent may start a video with all this. If you want to buy, sell, invest, call me today. And then they're going to say, today I'm going to talk to you about my 5 tips for buying a home. That's boring, right? People are going to back out of that. A better way is to hook them, is to start your video by saying something like, in this video, I'm going to show you 5 strategies that I just used with one of my clients to save them over $10,000 buying their first home. And the last tip I'm going to share with you, most buyer agents don't even know about. Today, I'm going to share with you my 5 strategies for saving money when buying a home. So you kind of hype up the value that they're going to get out of the video, and you're hooking them. And by doing that, they're going to watch that video longer, which is going to help your video perform better.
Yes.
And those are the 2 biggest metrics, is how many people click on your video and how long they watch your video. And if you can really master those 2 things, your videos are going to do exceptionally well on YouTube.
Yes, I agree. Cool. Love it. Thank you. That was perfect. Let's talk about, you said something to me really interesting, which is, and it brought a really good awareness for me, which is a video that's discoverable versus a video that might be kind of a lead conversion video. And you know, and it really brought attention, because a lot of people are like, the kind of a false perception is, oh my gosh, like I don't have hardly any views on this video I did about the, you know, my listing presentation. And I'm like, that's okay, because that's not a real, like, and so you're the one that kind of shared, like, so this distinction between, hey, I want to create discoverable content that would have a lot of views versus stuff that's not. How do you kind of distinguish that in your training program to help agents understand what to do?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, great distinction there. And when you want to look at your entire channel as a sales funnel, and you want some videos that are down in this lower rung or in the middle rung, and you kind of know ahead of time they're not going to get as many views as the videos on the top layer. In some videos, I'll make a video. Let's say a video I recommend everybody make is just like an about me video, who you are, how you got into real estate. But that type of video, it's not really going to rank in any kind of search, right? If somebody types in moving to Maryland, that video is not going to rank for that. It's not really a discoverable video. There's no real search term that people are actually searching for to find that video. But when they do find your channel and then they see that video, that's going to build that relationship with them on a much deeper level, which is very important in order to actually like build that relationship and convert that viewer into a lead. So it's still valuable having that video up on your channel. Just kind of be aware that that type of video is not going to rank in a search. Now, another type of video is that discoverable layer. So let's say you made a video, pros and cons of living in California. That's a very clickable title, and that type of video could rank in YouTube search for living in California, could rank in Google search for living in California. And that type of video is how people are actually discovering you and initially finding you and finding your channel. And then the other videos that are already on your channels, those are going to build that relationship with your clients and help convert those viewers into relationship. So, or viewers into clients. So different videos can have different goals, and some videos you know ahead of time are not going to get as many views as others, and that's perfectly fine. Just keep in mind that you're building a sales funnel with your videos, and it's important to have those videos that get a lot of views, as well as those videos that don't get as many views but are still pretty critical to that sales funnel.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, very well said. So a couple things too with the, you said something to me really important one time that was really helpful. And you said, listen, don't worry about getting subscribers per se, right? You know, like, so I, you know, like a bunch of my friends like, well, you don't have that many subscribers, Patrick. And I'm like, yeah, I don't care. But when you said something, you said, what you want to do is you want to optimize for A, the click, and then B, the retention, because YouTube will automatically do some, if they watch a good amount of my video and maybe go to another video or come to my channel and they check out other things that I'm doing, that YouTube naturally or strategically does retargeting of that person with some of my other videos. And so they'll, you know, they'll have another chance to watch another one of my videos. And I was like, wow, it's super interesting. And so as I've been exploring YouTube more as just a consumer and watching my behavior pattern, it's so cool because like I'll watch someone's video and then next thing you know, in my feed, I didn't subscribe to their channel, but I'll see in my feed on my
Right.
browse and in search, I'll see their other videos. And so it just dawned on me, this is unbelievable because we as real estate agents, if we can get a video where people would discover it, that and they watch a good amount of it, then YouTube's already going to come back and show more of your other videos for free. I
Yeah.
was like, this is incredible. So thank you for that advice. That was so valuable for me to be aware of that, right? So is there anything that you would kind of add to help people understand kind of, that this is the goal? The goal is not get the scribe and the notification. That's kind of a down the road. Is there any kind of update to that advice?
Yeah, I mean, you hit the nail on the head there. If somebody watches, let's say, 2 or 3 of your videos in a row, YouTube's going to stalk that person for 3 to 4 weeks with your content. It's going to show up on their home screen. It's going to show up as a suggested video. When they do a search, your videos are going to be more likely to get suggested in their search results because they watch multiple videos of yours. So what that means is at the end of your video, one of the most important call to actions is not, hey, go like and comment and subscribe. One of the most important call to actions is, hey, click right here and watch another one of my videos. And so these are the end screen elements, which are clickable elements, which you can add to the last 20 seconds of your video. And if you watch any of my videos, you notice every single one of them, that's how I end my video. Hey, if you want to learn more about this topic, click right here and watch this other video I did about that. And it also, it helps you convert 1 view into 2 views or 3 views or 4 views. Somebody can just kind of go down that rabbit hole, just keep on clicking on the next video that you recommend to them and then get stuck for 30 minutes just watching all of your content, maybe about living in California or buying a home.
Yep. No, it's beautiful. And one of my coaching clients this morning, Malcolm, was like, "Oh my God, I'm so excited." He's like, in the last week, because they've been kind of building a little momentum with their YouTube channel and their videos. They're like, we got a couple leads from YouTube, and when we called them, they were like kind of like giddy, like as they're like, wow, it's really you. Like that. And so there's just something about that, like they probably watched 2, 3, 4 of their videos. And so when they finally called them to talk to the lead was like, they were impressed by them and they were excited to talk to them. And I think that's such a big difference, from all of the other lead generation that we can do.
Right. Yeah,
Like,
it's completely opposite of Facebook leads, where you may get 50 leads and you have to track them all down and keep bugging them, keep on them, and maybe you'll convert 1 of those 50.
right.
This is complete opposite. They are excited to hear from you. They're super fans, and most people they watch YouTube nowadays, but they've never like interacted with the YouTuber. They get excited if a YouTuber responds to a comment of theirs. So to actually have a YouTuber call them up and like, hey, thanks for reaching out. People legit get excited. A lot of times they're even surprised that I am actually reaching out to them. I'm actually calling them, then just like recommend or refer them to somebody else.
Yeah, see, that's cool. See, that to me is beautiful. One other thing, last thing, let's touch one other topic, and which it was so interesting to me is the difference between kind of Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube is basically YouTube will pay you money if you get good at creating content and getting views. Where Facebook and Instagram is like, hey, you want more views, you want more opportunity, pay us money.
Right.
There's a big difference here.
Huge. Yeah.
Right. And I know and I was so, and again, I was grateful for you because you showed me kind of how monetization works in YouTube. And so for some of my advanced friends who've really been working at this hard and are starting to build some momentum, like there's money on the line, guys, if you get good at this, right? Like I was looking at, you introduced me to, I think her name is Christina, right? And she, like I watched one of her videos on like tiny homes and it had like 2.4 million views.
Oh.
And based upon kind of what you shared with me, I was like, she's made some money on that, right? And that's kind of interesting. So could you share for some of my really advanced people who are really like trying to, who build a lot of content, have now got a good amount of subscribers? Like what should they be thinking about in terms of this partnership and how to make money with YouTube?
Right, absolutely. Yeah. So YouTube, after you get 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours, then you can apply to get monetized and monetize your channel. They will pay you for making content. So essentially the people who pay for the ads on top of your video, YouTube splits that with you. I think the creator gets 55% of that. YouTube keeps 45% of that.
Wow.
And you absolutely getting, yeah, you make some good money off that. This year I have a channel about 15,000 subscribers. On that channel, I'm going to make about $20,000 this year from ads being played on my video.
Wow.
Now, that's just one source of money that you can make from YouTube. There's plenty of other ways to monetize that audience as well. I have an outdoor channel, it's about 100,000 subscribers. And one way I monetize that channel is with affiliate links. So if I talk about some camping gear, I'll have affiliate links to that gear in the description of the video. People click on that and I make money off that as well. And what I think is actually the most profitable way to make money off YouTube is to generate leads for a business, such as your real estate business or your coaching business. That is probably one of the most profitable ways. But still, you know, I make $2,000 to $3,000 a month just from the ads played on my YouTube videos. And that's pretty nice. You know, I could turn around and spend that in retargeting ads or spend that on Facebook ads or reinvest that money somehow or better camera equipment. But you can definitely make some good money on that. Christina, who you talked about before, she's had months where she's made $10,000 in 1 month from the ads playing on her YouTube video. So it's turning into a very real exit strategy out of this business. You know, so many people, we all have exit strategies to become a coach or become a team leader or a referral agent or something, but becoming a YouTuber and just making content about your community and your area and making a living off like referring out clients and then the ads played on your videos, that's becoming a very legit exit strategy out of this business for creators.
Yeah, no, it's, when you brought that to my attention, and now I love paying attention to it. Okay, who's running the ads? How often? How's this working? And so I see the game a little bit more clearly. And we'll wrap with this point that I caught my attention, which was if I can give the platform, i.e. YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, if I can give them what they want in the way that they want it, then they'll give me what I want, right? And what I want is more organic exposure, for free exposure to my ideal customers. And then now, of course, then at the end of the day is getting paid. That's pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
I give them what they want, the way that they want it, and there we go. It's a symbiotic relationship. And I think your training program and my time spent with you is really, you actually showed me and helped me to understand how the platform works. What do they want? What's the way that they want it? And then for me to organize, okay, how do I play the game so that I can get what I want? And I think that's really important, is to learn those rules, learn the model so that you can then go perform and just be in the performance and get paid appropriately for your performance. And I see way too many people just dumping videos, creating videos, and they have no idea really how to do it on YouTube. And that is a huge, huge, huge mistake, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there really is kind of a specific formula that you need to follow in order to have success on YouTube. And it's a completely different formula than what works on Instagram or TikTok or Snapchat or Facebook. And so a lot of people, they come from Facebook and they try to do what works on Facebook on YouTube, and it doesn't work. It is a very specific formula that works here on YouTube. What I find really interesting is that YouTube's been around for 12 years or so, and the real estate community really hasn't discovered it. They haven't capitalized on it. You know, I became a real estate agent in 2016, and that's when I first started making YouTube videos and really experimenting with it and figuring out exactly what that formula is. And over the last couple of years, I've got it down to a repeatable formula. You know, A, B, C, and D. You follow these steps, your videos will rank on YouTube. You know, right now, if you type in selling your home on YouTube, my video ranks #1 for that, you know, because I follow this very specific formula. And it's a repeatable formula. And that's why this space is just exploding right now in 2020. People are, what's the phrase, rip off and repeat or something like that?
Yeah, R&D, or rip off and duplicate.
That's it, you know.
Yeah.
Now that there's a path forward and a formula, people are just R&Ding that and just kind of copying and pasting that in their market. And yeah, YouTube's the new Facebook, and there's only going to be a small time period where you can still take territory on YouTube before it becomes much harder for you to get your videos to rank.
Yeah, as Gary V would always say, is like, hey, you know, always be, if you're first and you're early, you will reap all of the rewards for the lowest cost.
Right.
Once everybody's there, the costs go way up, your organic exposure goes way down. And so you're right, it's true. And so, and thank you for all that you've done. Your training program was excellent. So guys, if you really want to dive deep into the training program, I think it was like $800 or something like that. 100% worth it, because I tried to create a Thinkific training program, because that's the platform that he used. It is hard work, my friends.
Right.
So I know how hard, like, the way that you put that together was beautiful, and you know, it was very, very well done. So I know how hard that is. That thing's worth way more money than the $800. So get on his Facebook group, check out his channel and see the way that he structured and organized his channel to model some of the things that he's doing, rip off and duplicate. Get into the training program. You know, provide some links to all that stuff down in the description. So you guys, thanks so much, Malcolm, for your time, for all your work. So excited that a YouTuber got into real estate and solved the riddle of how to do it. So thank you for doing that. It's been super helpful for me, and my clients are really enjoying some benefits. So much appreciated, man. Appreciate you.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me on. I love watching your channel grow, and I actually am learning a good bit from it for my own real estate business as well.
All right, cool. Awesome, man. Thank you.